Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell like this video. I hope that helps me to keep making videos. And I would appreciate it majorly. So I wanted to just quickly some of the details have come out in the shooting at the Costco yesterday in Corona, California, which is outside LA by about 50 miles southwest of Los Angeles. And initially, it was being reported as like an active shooter situation. It seemed like somebody was maybe randomly shooting people inside of a Costco, but that's not the case. And people scattered when they heard shots. I believe 5 to 6 shots rang out, according to witnesses, inside the Costco. In like the frozen foods meat section. And so it's now been revealed the identity of the person who was shot and killed, as well as his parents, were both shot and are both in critical condition in intensive care. Their identities have been revealed, even though the person who was the shooter, it turns out to be an off-duty, police officer, Los Angeles LAPD officer, has not been identified. And initially, the two parents, the individual who supposedly assaulted the off-duty officer, he was dead on the scene. The parents were taken to the hospital. So was the shooter, who basically had told the police who responded that he had been injured. So he was initially taken to the hospital himself, and then was discharged. He's not in custody. And his identity remains unknown at this point. I'm sure at some point we're going to know his identity, but he's not in custody. And so far, the Los Angeles Police Department put out a statement, basically, sort of defending the actions, or just kind of stating it. It's still very, very vague at this point. This is supposed to be the Costco. This isn't it, though. What the heck? It may be in here. There's a Costco right there. So it's somewhere in that shopping center. In any event. This is actually, I believe that's the suspect right there. Or not the suspect. The person who was killed, who allegedly committed the assault, and his parents. This is from somebody's Facebook page, a family member of theirs. The nephew of this couple and his cousin, and he's upset, because the way they're being portrayed in some accounts in the media and in social media, that they were like suspects, when he's questioning why they were shot, why he was shot and killed, and why the two parents were both shot and are now in critical condition in intensive care. I'll read his statement in a second, but so according to the authorities, their statement from the LAPD is the LAPD officer was shopping at Costco with his family when he was attacked. He said the officer, this is the Corona Police Department, Tobias Korobacalis. I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sure. He said the officer was holding his child at the time, but the child was not injured in the incident. The attack on the officer, which was called unprovoked, resulted in him firing his weapon, striking the suspected assailant and two of his family members. The deceased man was identified as Kenneth, 32, of Riverside, California. His two relatives were transported to the hospital, where they were listed in critical condition. The officer's gun was the only weapon involved in the incident. The officer, who has not been identified, suffered minor injuries in the confrontation and was taken to the hospital and then discharged. It says, later, however, police said no one was in custody, and that there had been no arrest in the case. Initially, Corona police said on Friday that two men were in an argument when one pulled out a weapon and fatally shot the other. They said they had detained the shooter inside the store and then taken him to the hospital after he said he was injured. I don't know if they're my wife made an extremely good point. It's Costco. They have to have video surveillance of the entire incident. Not necessarily what was said, not that really matters, but the actions of the two individuals. And I assume the parents basically were just, their son was just shot in front of them. Maybe were moving towards the officer during the incident. It's pretty crazy. I will say, I don't know, but the officer is claiming he's holding his child and he's being attacked, so that's why he pulled his weapon and shot the man. I don't know, dude. It seems pretty. Something seems not right to me. But like I said, there should be video of it in that Costco, and I wonder if that'll get released. I think 5 to 6 shots were heard by witnesses. I don't know if that's mentioned in this particular report. It's not. So, and like I said, the identity of those shot. That's the person who was shot and killed, Kenneth French. And in his relative's post, he says he assumes this started as an argument that just escalated and got out of control. And I would agree with him that that's probably how this began. And I would agree that they sort of look like normal folks. And he mentions that do these look like criminals? And I don't know exactly what a criminal looks like, but they do just sort of look like normal folks. So Kenneth French, 32, was killed and his parents were critically injured when an off-duty Los Angeles Police Department officer shot them on Friday night. It's Friday night, not Saturday. Okay. Is that right? I thought it was Saturday. No, it was Friday. It was Friday because I read the story Saturday. I didn't know the details of it, and I just didn't look into it further until today. Witnesses say they saw a man with a mohawk haircut arguing with someone in the freezer section when shots rang out at least 6 times. Corona Police Lieutenant Jeff Edwards said the man involved in the argument was the one who was killed. The shooting prompted a stampede of frightened shoppers to flee the store east of Los Angeles and seek cover. I mean, who had the mohawk? Him, French, Kenneth French, or the officer? Or neither, I don't know. That's the only place I read that. Shoppers and employees have since described terror and chaos as the shots rang out. Shrieks from inside the store were heard on video recorded by shopper Nikki Tate. I saw people and heard shots, and my first thought was, Jesus, is this another mass shooting? I don't know. I wonder who the person is with the mohawk. I really do. I don't know. That's just. So witnesses say they saw a man with a mohawk haircut arguing with someone in the freezer section when shots rang out at least 6 times. Corona Police Lieutenant Jeff Edwards said the man involved in the argument was the one who was killed. So the individual's post, and he just read it very quickly. He's asking for anyone who was there and saw what happened to call the authorities. But like I said, there's got to be video of it. I'm not keeping quiet about this. People need to know. This is my family. These are the victims of the Costco shooting. Of the Costco shooting the other night, my cousin Kenneth was killed, and his parents, my aunt and uncle, were also both shot and are in the ICU. Do they look intimidating to you? Did he really have to shoot them all? I'm posting this picture because the stories on social media have them out to be the suspects and the off-duty cop to the victim. This is a family that was unarmed and was just grocery shopping. Truth will come out. I'm sure this was a misunderstanding that got escalated for no reason. If anyone was a witness, please get in contact with us. So, that's pretty much the story there. It's definitely, it's troubling for sure. That's it. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.